Hey community, this is Dr. Yu, and what I'm going to do right now is just go over the stool test that I recommend. I believe this is the #1 functional medicine stool test on the market. So just to kind of give you an idea of clinically what I do, I never run stool samples, or very rarely do I run stool samples right out of the get-go. I'm very conservative on labs, so what I try and do is I try and run extensive blood work, where we might take 10, 11, 12 vials of blood. We work the case for 4 to 8 weeks. If there's still no change, this is when I go ahead and add some additional labs. So I just want to kind of go over what this test is. It's called the 𝗖𝗵𝐵 test. And here I have an interpretation guide, and then I have basically a generic sample from the lab. And then down here, I actually have one of my clients. So one thing I want to let you know is when someone is a client of mine, all the labs I do at cost. So you can see right here is basically the cost is $326. So there's no markup on labs. What the lab costs me is what I charge you. So if you're seeing this video, I might afford this to you, and at this point thinking that we might need to do a 𝗖𝗵𝐵 test or a stool sample, or maybe you're just surfing the internet and you want to know more about this test. So this, in my viewpoint, is the most extensive test on the market right now. So you can see here, this is one of my clients. So this is bacterial pathogens. So this has pathogens. You can see the 6.33, and you can see the range right in here. So this person is massively high in this basically bacterial pathogen in his gut. And then down here, I like H. pylori, and this does a variety of H. pyloris. So you can see here, 2 positive things for H. pylori. On commensal bacteria, not really much going on in here. Then we move down a little bit, and you can see here, opportunistic overgrowth. This is bad. This is a bad gut. Now, this is a client that I was working with over in Europe. And we worked together for about 6 months, and then we decided to do the 𝗖𝗵𝐵 test. Now, in his case, he was getting phenomenal results, and then it just kind of was stagnant a little bit, and his gut was always a recurring thing. So this is why we went ahead and did the 𝗖𝗵𝐵 test. And you can see bad, 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 bad. Anything in red is bad. So a lot of opportunistic overgrowth here. And then if we move down a little bit, you can see in here, inflammatory markers, bad right down in here. And then we also check some other things. This is just a really great solid test. You can see down in here is this marker right here. This checks for like inflammation of the gut, or how much saliva you're producing in the gut. And you can see here the upper limits is 2,000. His is 5,000. And these are some other markers that are just checking for basically overall gut function right in here. So this is a really powerful test, and this can be really a missing link in some difficult cases. Now, if you move up in here, you can see this right here is just another sample right here, and this just comes from the lab. So you can see here everything's taken out, but you can see what's happening with this person right in here. So this is a great test. Now, I've also put in here, if you want to know more about the test, if you want to know more about the poop and what they're kind of interpreting. So this is a 52-page basically PDF that goes over all the testing right here. So for example, right here, so if you're going to look at H. pylori on page 16, let's just go to page 16. And here we are right here. So this is the H. pylori. So that section that I showed you about H. pylori, you could read all up about this H. pylori. And then if you kind of move down, commensal bacteria, if you want to geek out on that section alone, and each bacteria has an explanation on what it does. So it's a very, very comprehensive test, and in my viewpoint, it's really, really affordable. What happens if you want to move forward with the test is I would set you up with an account, and then you would pay them. So you pay the company here directly, and I would set that up. You pay them, they ship the kit directly to you. You poop in the bag. You can have diarrhea. It doesn't need to be formed stools, so soft stools, runny stools, hard stools, everything counts in this. You don't need to have formed stools to have this test. And then basically you put it in a bag, and then it already comes with pre-stampage, so you just set it in the mail, I think FedEx or UPS, and it's already paid. You just give it to them, and then they ship it right out to the lab, and then the lab does interpretation, and then it comes in my account, and then we go over it with you. So with that being said, if you have any questions about the GI map test, so right here, just to give you a little more, so this is the company, the Diagnostic Solutions Laboratory. So you could Google them if you want to do that as well. But that's the company that the test is coming from. So with that being said, remember is where there is help, there's hope. Take care. Bye-bye.